Welcome to the Underground Paradox, the UGP, with me, G. Revers. I'm so glad to be back investigating, and this time I'm out and about in Cornwall, in a location called BUDE. So, let's get into this and find out why I had to go and investigate. I am out right now in my new friend, Billy the Bongo, the Underground Paradox machine. And I have just crossed over Tamar Bridge from Devon into Cornwall. And I'm going to investigate some UFO, UAP reports, both of them pretty recent, in the sort of last 4-year window, both with visual evidence, which I'll share with you guys later. Today, unfortunately, the weather is not looking good. I was excited because, as I said in the introduction, I'm back now and doing a lot more filming and investigating and content for the Underground Paradox. And I've got loads of new equipment as well as the van, so that's going to bring a new dimension to the content for this channel, including some sort of element of van life as well, and me out in the Bongo, and allow me to stay in locations for longer, doing overnight stays. So all very, very exciting. You know, these reports that I'm going to investigate have come off the platform Enigma, so they're official reports. However, there is a way that you can share your experiences with me, and you know, if you've got visual or audio evidence, again, you can share that, and it's all free, and all you've got to do is email me at the ugp@myyahoo.com. Really simple, really easy. Wherever you are in the world, you don't have to be based in the southwest of the UK. It helps if I get reports and people sharing experiences from that area, because I can go out and investigate them. But with the Bongo now, I'm sort of open to all UK areas, and getting out and about. I'll still primarily be staying on Bodmin Moor and Dartmoor in Devon and Cornwall, but I can venture out further. I'm going to be going to Wales hopefully soon, and investigating an area called Porthcawl there. So please do email me and share your experiences, any types of experience, whether they be related to cryptids, to the supernatural, to ufology, any sightings, experiences you had. Please share, or just reach out to contact me and share your thoughts and feelings on the UGP and the content, and any input you've got would be great. So I'm going to continue my journey and concentrate on the road because the weather isn't so great, and I'm not totally used to driving Billy yet. So yeah, I'll check you guys out when we're closer to BUDE in Cornwall.
I went outside in the evening. It was about 10:30 p.m. At my property, and noticed there were 5 lights in the sky in a perfectly straight. Lights were quite large. They were all the same shape, very bright in the sky. They weren't moving. There was no sound. It was a completely windless evening.
Okay, so I've got to my destination where I want to park up, probably for the night. The weather's not got much better. There's little breaks in the rain, but it's still very, very windy and very uncertain. So I honestly don't know if on this excursion I'm going to get to use my new drones, which are very clever drones, but not for the greatest for rainy, windy weather. So we'll have to see. But I'm gonna head out in just a moment and have a bit of an explore. As I said before, there's 2 reports that through Enigma that we're going to be investigating. There is some footage to go with both of them, which I will share with you a little bit later. But whilst I'm finishing off my cup of tea, let's find out a little bit more about BUDE.
Following your way, falling for you. I fell today in every way.
BUDE, a seaside town in North Cornwall, England, in the civil parish of Bude Stratton. Bude's coast faces Bude Bay in the Celtic Sea, part of the Atlantic Ocean. Due to its coastline, many beautiful beaches and countryside, it is a location that is popular for surfing, canoeing, windsurfing, rock climbing and abseiling, and therefore it is a popular location for adventure weeks for schools and colleges and clubs. But it is also a popular location for sightings and reports of UAPs and UFOs. As the first night started drawing in, I headed back to the underground paradox machine, my campervan, to sort out some dinner and do some nighttime filming. I've got obviously a lot to learn about featuring van life stuff, because you saw me earlier, been out, come back, so hungry, rushed making dinner, made a beautiful chili, forgot to film any of it, which, you know, I don't know if you want to see me making my dinner or not, but it's the kind of usual stuff that you see on van life stuff, so thought I would share. But anyway, I'm now fed, and it's about 7 p.m. at night, so it's already gone dark because it's February right now. The reason why I'm here in Bude is because of these two sightings that have been reported, one in 2019 and one in 2021. I'm mostly interested in the one in 2019, to be honest. Not too sure what to make of it, but you know, we'll discuss that. Sighting number 1 is Enigma report number 112623 that took place in 2019 on October 3rd at 11:05 in the morning British Standard Time, and it took place in Bude, England, United Kingdom. The person who placed this report also uploaded 7 videos that accompany the report, which we'll go through in just a moment. But just to mention, and you will glance at it in a moment, this report actually comes via M.U.F.O.N. But let's have a look at the report. I noticed a difference in light colour coming from the sun. As I couldn't look directly at the sun, I decided to film using my mobile phone. I made a lot of videos during a 2-hour period of the sky and clouds. During filming, I observed several strange phenomena happening. Afterwards, I went through the footage, to which I was gobsmacked with what I was seeing. Strange flashes of light, the sky would change in an instant in front of me, flying objects which I can't explain. I have tried to show to friends and family, but they don't believe what they are witnessing. I have slowed the videos down and adjusted brightness, contrast and saturation, but it is still actual footage I have recorded and witnessed. Now, the main piece of video footage that I'm going to play for you is, out of the 7 that were uploaded with the report, the one that's been the least tampered and edited by the person who made the report. Of course, they've put in the report that they have done that in some of the videos, but I don't think it does them any favours. But we'll discuss that a little bit more later. What I would like you to do is watch this video, this piece of footage, which is 1 of 7, and then afterwards I'll discuss a few things that I think support this report and a few things that put a question mark on it.
What the fuck? O-M-G. Oh my god.
Right, I said we were going to talk through the points that go to support this report and this piece of evidence, and then we can discuss the points that also don't go in its favor. Firstly, I just want to mention why I was interested in this report. It's very rare to get reports about flashes of lights. You know, most UAP and UFO reports are based around objects rather than flash of light. Now, the flashing of light is definitely a feature within this evidence, but it's not the only thing that we can see on this footage. Initially, I felt that the audio on this piece of footage and evidence seemed quite genuine, reacting to what is happening in the environment with the WTF and the OMG at the times that we're seeing significant activity in the footage. That helps lean towards the fact that it's potentially not CGI, AI, manufactured, because unless the audio's been added after. But that doesn't preclude the fact that the footage could still be altered or manipulated in some way. The other thing that impressed me was the fact that this was sourced from M.U.F.O.N, which means it initially appeared on M.U.F.O.N, it now is featured on Enigma, but I haven't seen this doing its rounds on social media or anything like that. So it kind of means that this person is sharing this evidence, sharing this report, not trying to get clicks and views, but just wants to escalate the incident and the experience that they've had. I mentioned there were a few things that didn't go in the favor of this evidence. I also prompted you to listen and pay close attention to the audio. And there's two things about the audio that compromise this evidence. First of all, it's the conflict between what we hear and the reaction in the actual video versus the report. So to remind you, the reportee said in the report, afterwards I went through the footage to which I was gobsmacked with what I was seeing. Yet that conflicts with what we hear in the video, because we hear the reaction WTF, we hear the reaction OMG. So obviously they've already seen something whilst filming this, presuming it's through a mobile phone. But then they're saying when they watched the footage afterwards they were gobsmacked. However, this could just be the person getting caught up in the emotion of the experience, and when writing the report wanted to express how gobsmacked they were and just verbalized it incorrectly. You know, we all sometimes like to add dramatic flair. That may just be the natural accidental reason behind that, but it's still a point to consider. The second point to raise on the audio is just a bit of an oddity. You'll notice throughout, just around the middle part of the footage, there's two coughs, and on one of the coughs is precise timing is when you get the flash go across the screen. So it gives me the thought that maybe the flashes across the screen are a fault with the phone when it's wobbled or shaken, because I presume this is being filmed with a mobile phone, and maybe that cough kind of indicates that it's something, a malfunction with the phone. Who knows? I mean, there is a first cough where it doesn't happen. So again, there is two ways to look at that point. Now let's talk about some of the visual elements of this evidence and this report. And I mentioned earlier that it was an absolute shame that this person has uploaded 7 videos and all of them have pretty much been heavily satirized, effects added. Even in this footage, I believe that this has still got quite a bit of contrast manipulation. And just for anybody out there that's thinking about using networks like M.U.F.O.N or Enigma to make a report, please just share the raw footage. If you don't, it basically nullifies it really, because if anybody's going to take this seriously and then analyze that footage, they need to analyze it from its raw format. If you've put filters or effects, it's already contaminated and it's going to nullify the credibility of the evidence, so just be warned. And that really lets this down. As I said, in this video footage, I feel that the contrast has been manipulated. I can't prove that 100%, but I've got a really strong, confident feeling that it has. But let me share with you an example of some of the footage that they've played around with. Having collected some of my own video evidence firsthand, I can appreciate and understand the frustration that sometimes what you see in the moment and how you see it with your naked eye, it doesn't come across as well or as strongly on the footage that you film. And therefore, there is this real compulsion or natural instinct to try and overemphasize for that. And I think that explains why this person has done what they've done. I'll put a link in the description so you can go and check this out and the 7 other videos, but I could talk about this one for days, but for now I'm just going to give my short and hard conclusion as it stands for now. I was initially interested in this sighting, number one, but as I've investigated further and further, I just think the problem is likely equipment. And there's a mention that filming the sun directly, couldn't look at it with the naked eye. With the camera on a mobile phone, if you play around with some settings, it can also make some curious things happen on the screen. I think that's given away with the cough and the flash on the screen, indicating movement of the phone is making those flashes. So for me, the jury still remains out on whether this person manipulated the footage or whether there was just a fault with their equipment and they weren't aware of what impact that would make. There's part of me with the comments in the actual video footage that that's not the case, but I'm certainly not here to try and decipher whether this person has faked this. They certainly used the right networks, as in M.U.F.O.N and Enigma, to report it, but I don't think I'd be storing this one away in any of my archives for further investigation unless some of the raw footage was brought forward. The fact that 7 videos have been shared and all of them have been manipulated with effects in some way, again, just isn't good and doesn't lend to the credibility of the report. So for me, this one remains inconclusive. Now, I mentioned there's sighting 2, but we're going to discuss that more on day 2 of my investigation time in BUDE, Cornwall. But for now, let's get back to the campervan. So I'm going to go out and do some night filming, sky filming, see what I can see. Because obviously there's been activity in this region, so see if I get lucky. is so strange because to the naked eye, I can't see this purple light. It's quite in the distance from me. It's not a star because, again, I'm trying to drop the camera, but it's sort of quite high up in the sky, but I can't see it with my naked eye. Strange. I'm going to put the camera down a minute and just have a bit of a look to see if I can see what it is. Okay, so I've tried to have a look with my naked eye, switch the camera off for a moment, but I can't find an explanation, but it's trying to give a perspective of height. So that's the sort of town, that's the normal skyline, and it's up here, but I can't see that with my eye. There's a tree in front of me. I think you can see the outline of that tree there. So I'm thinking that's a star. But I just don't know what that is. And it's obviously some sort of camera anomaly. Difficult to say that word. But it's definitely not a star because I can't see the star unless it's just the camera can pick it up. But why is it purple? That's just normal sort of building lights. There's a tree there, and then up there, but I can't see it with my eye. Only through the camera. Strange. Okay, so you saw some of the nighttime footage that I've got of this area of BUDE, and I'll do some more filming tomorrow when it's daylight, see if I can come up with an explanation of what that light, that purple light was, because as I said, I'm not even seeing it anywhere with my naked eye. I'm only seeing it through the camera. So that's really interesting, but I'll film that area tomorrow during the daylight and we'll see what we can see and see if there's an explanation for what I was seeing. But it's strange that it was very similar to the 2021 sighting that took here in BUDE. Obviously that was during the day, this was at night time, but you know, very stationary observation object, seemingly not moving erratically or very fast. But yeah, so we'll see what we can see when I do some filming tomorrow. For now, I'm probably having dinner. I'm going to do some more nighttime filming periodically throughout the night, and try and hunker down for my first solo night in the van, overnight stay in BUDE. I'll see you guys in a bit, or in the morning. Sleep well. Well, it's morning and I managed to pretty much sleep okay. Yeah, not a bad first night in the Bongo, and so I'm just going to get myself sorted, get the van sorted and make some breakfast and then get on the road again. I was saying that last night I slept okay, but to be honest with you, I made a novice error and that is that I forgot to bring any proper pillows with me. Luckily I've got cushions on the seat, but they weren't ideal. So this morning I have woken up with a bit of a sore neck, and now just doing breakfast, which is going to be some beautiful beans and sausages on toast. I've got this little device for cooking the toast on. Hopefully it's going to work okay. But yeah. Folks, is breakfast served. I'm gonna yum this down and I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, so that is the van all packed up, and I am now ready to hit some more areas of BUDE. The weather is more on my side today, so I'm hoping that I can get some drone work done, but let's get to BUDE. Oh yes, well, you didn't think I would forget, did you? So I'll let you watch the footage that I filmed the next morning, stood in the same spot that I was filming the night before. I'll let you watch it first, and then I can start doing some comparison and breaking down my own evidence, which is a bit weird, but let's have a look, see. So this is a good part of the footage to freeze and show you just where that town was that I was filming, where the lights were in the nighttime footage. And then what I want to do in just a moment is try and overlay the two images together, the nighttime and the daytime, as best I can, to see if I can get a sort of match up. Already, hopefully you can see that at high level and low level, there's not anything that's popping out immediately that would explain the light source, but maybe we'll better get an understanding when I do that overlay of each image and where that light source was emanating from. This is the best that I could do by putting two shots together, but this is where the town lights are, and then that's where the light that I was seeing on the camera was. But with my naked eye, and when I put the camera down and looked ahead of me, I could not see it. I did plenty of shots in the nighttime footage where I pulled right out, so it kind of looks like a star again. You can see the town lights just there. So at this distance, again, on the camera, it looks like a star, but if I then looked with my naked eye, I couldn't see it. Now, I mentioned earlier on screen that I had been filming a star. Before I captured any of this footage, I was filming a star, and the reason why I was doing that is because I wanted to put together some footage to show how a lot of people, a lot of evidence that you see for UAPs and UFOs is people just using their mobile phones and zooming in on stars, because when you do that you start to get pulsing lights and all sorts. So I know what that looks like. This is not it, and if you zoom in on a star, it doesn't stay one color, like this is staying purple. There's a couple of points that I just want to confirm and apologize for. So firstly, apologies. My camera work is not the greatest on this night shoot. I was stupid. I shouldn't have kept moving the camera around so much. It's not a problem zooming in and zooming out, but I shouldn't have moved it around so much. So I want to confirm that this object, to my understanding, wasn't moving very much at all. It gives you the impression on some of my footage that it's moving around, but that's the camera moving around, not the object. All I was obsessed with was trying to get a sense of scale, which is so hard to do when you're doing nighttime shooting. Hopefully I've got some. Go back to the daytime footage. I mentioned the tree. The reason for that is that I wanted to consider whether it was something poking out of the tree, hanging out of the tree, something reflecting. But as you can clearly see on the daytime footage, there isn't anything that was hanging off that tree, although it explains something in the position of the skyline that this thing was in. And I hope by some of the putting the images together, just to show you again, when I was actually filming the footage at night time, I was thinking, is this a light on some sort of telegraph pole, or is this even coming off of some ground, some land that's actually higher in the distance? But then I thought, well, no, there's nowhere in Cornwall that's really that high, that because I could get a sense myself of where this was positioned in the sky. I've spoken to some friends about this, shown them the footage. Some of the ideas that have come up are like a military or police vehicle trying to do some sort of infrared search. But again, even if they were using infrared camera, they'd have to have, for safety reasons, the flashing lights on the helicopter or whatever craft they were in. So I don't think that explains it. We also considered like lasers, and again, you'd see some of the beam coming off of the laser. That's my best explanation, and this thing just really wasn't moving that much. And so if it was somebody playing a prank with a laser, I think it would be going all over the place. I don't know, I've tried to give a sense of scale. This one confuses me. It confused me on the night. I think some of the bad camera work was just out of sheer frustration, because I just didn't get, and I still don't get, why there was something there on the camera but I could not see it with my eye. So let me know in comments what you guys think, please. Right now, I'm classifying my evidence as unexplained. Let's get back to day 2 in BUDE. Okay, so this is what BUDE is known for. It is most popular with surfers, and it's a great coastal area, great for sky watching. You can see why I was interested to come here and see what's going on. But yeah, beautiful coastline, and this is what it's all about, surfing. Okay, so I'm right down by the water now. Hopefully you can hear me okay. The sea is quite rough, so it's very loud. Great for surfing though, if that's your thing. It definitely is mine, but not today. But yeah, the conditions today are very similar to the 2019 sighting. I think I've got that right. If not, it's the 2021 one, where it was a nice sunny blue day, or blue sky I should say. Very, very similar conditions today. I was just stood by this area over here, and there was a rock slide. So I'm not going to stick around here for too long, but let's have a little bit of a look at just how great this coastline is. So as I mentioned, the sighting, it was very similar. So I've been keeping my eye out just to see if I can see any objects. But you know, beautiful, beautiful, as I said, coastline, and great for sky watching, both during the day. Remember, I always say it's not just about looking at night. You've got to keep your eyes up during the day as well. You never know what you might see. The sighting number 2 took place in a location not too far from where I am at Widemouth Beach. It's Enigma report number 118169, took place in 2021. On June 6th at 5:13 in the evening British Standard Time, again obviously in BUDE in Cornwall in England. It's entitled I Just Noticed This Thing and Decided to Take a Video of It. And the report reads as the following. I was at work delivering groceries. It was a clear, still, warm day. I looked up and I saw this thing, and it was very high, but it looked interesting and with no deferrable sound. After, I just carried on with my day. I'm going to play you the video now, and once again I'm going to ask you pay special attention to the audio. So I don't know about you guys, and you're more than welcome to disagree with me and let me know in comments, but I actually re-watched this footage quite a lot in the campervan last night. I don't know if it was just being inspired by being in the location of BUDE, but I was listening more carefully and I noticed something about the sound, and this is where you might disagree with me, but it sounds to me like as if the audio has been slowed down. The birds, at first you think, oh, that sounds nice, a nice summer day, birds chirping, but listen to the bird sounds more carefully and they sound almost electronic, and I think that's because they've been slowed down. Now, given that this footage is only 20 seconds long, the fact that it's been slowed down concerns me, and what it then leads me to think is the following: that this report is either misidentified or unpremeditated hoax, and I'll explain. So what I think this is similar to is like making a pocket phone call. I think this footage might have been 10 seconds long. I think it was accidentally filmed, so then the person found it in their gallery, thought, oh, that looks like something interesting, although it would have been obvious that they weren't intentionally filming it, so there's parts of the footage that they've stretched out. Possibly, this is just one theory. The other thing that I find interesting, having had my own experience the previous night, is that I do think the object in this footage again is stationary. So likely I'm thinking that it looks like a little puff of cloud to me. The other thing that makes me think it's accidentally filmed is that in the report the person states that they thought this object looked interesting, but yet they didn't zoom in on it. I don't know. For now, I am definitely going to put this one down as misidentified. Let me know what you think. Let me know in comments. I think if I see anything further today, I'm going to be very lucky, because I already had that sort of sighting last night. You can see from the footage that I filmed in the morning that there wasn't anything that was easily explained what it was that I was seeing. Give me your thoughts, give me your comments to what you thought, but yeah, that I was kind of feel very lucky that experience happened to me last night. So I think it would be a massive win if I saw something again today during the day, but you can only hope. Well, my 2 days in BUDE, Cornwall have been enjoyable. It's a shame that the 2 sightings that brought me here in the first place didn't pan out to very much, one being inconclusive and the other one definitely being misidentified, in my opinion. But the fact that this area and region is quite a hot spot anyway, it was worthwhile coming, and I'm glad that I did and I had that experience of my own. And yeah, I'd love some explanation from you guys if someone can think of one. I've thought of flares as well, but that doesn't add up to why they're not seen on camera. I know I've said it many times already, but the only way you can let me know is by please commenting. This has been the Underground Paradox. This has been me, G Redviz. Thank you for watching.